Developing tonight, disagreement over how to honor a fallen Chicago police officer.
Enrique Martinez's funeral is Monday, and his loved ones are asking the mayor not to attend, but he says he's going anyway.
A few moments later.
The one thing that people talked to us about yesterday, they felt as if the police had their hands tied behind their back by the current curfew and wondered if there wasn't some way to authorize the commander on the scene to say, hey, this situation is getting out of hand now.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton, and of course it helps you because it helps us. Now, y'all, today we're going to be talking about your boy, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Y'all, he has been at odds with his own police department for at least months, if not years now. He's only been mayor for 2 years, but he's been at odds with them. And as you're going to see in this report, they are complaining that he is not paying them, that he is systematically delaying their paychecks. Now, this comes after the police department turned their back on him and even disinvited him from the funerals of fallen police. So this is really wild. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not going to make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement. So here it says Chicago Police Department brass accused Mayor Brandon Johnson's administration of deliberately slowing down paychecks for dozens of employees this summer in a fiery email that warned the city was jeopardizing its compliance with the federal consent decree. Police Department Deputy Director Ryan Fitzsimmons emailed multiple officials in Johnson's budget office June 2nd to alert them of the department's overdue A forms, paperwork required to process paychecks for new hires and promotions. After following up the next day to confirm that police recruits were not getting their first paychecks, he sent an additional message June 10th saying Johnson's budget office was purposefully sitting on the forms. Given that we discussed at length via email and on our meeting on May 8th the need for timely approval of A forms, it would appear that OBM is pursuing a pattern of practice to delay the approval of A forms, with the functional result of not paying employees on time and delaying compliance with the consent decree, Fitzsimmons wrote. What is OBM's plan to systematically approve or deny A forms? The unusually contentious email noted CPD is committed to paying our employees on time. It is one of our most basic requirements as an employer and is also required by law. OBM's delay to sign A forms is exposing the city to increased legal risk along with diminished morale and increased attrition of our recruits. Now, y'all, we previously reported that the police had turned their backs on Mayor Johnson. Take a look at this and then we'll come back for some additional thoughts. So, y'all, things have gotten so bad for Mayor Johnson that in a recent press conference from just a few days ago, like half of the questions for him were about the violence and what he's going to do to help. And as you're going to see in this video, he doesn't really have very many answers. First, we're going to take a look at one of those questions, and then we're going to shoot right into a story that shows you, due to his policies, Johnson has lost the confidence of the police. Let's take a look.
The one thing that people talked to us about yesterday, and we live in Streeterville, the NBC towers in Streeterville. We talked to a lot of people. They felt as if the police had their hands tied behind their back by the current curfew and wondered if there wasn't some way to authorize the commander on the scene to say, hey, this situation is getting out of hand now. I'm imposing a disperse order now when they see the kids running up and down Columbus and being a danger not only to anybody else, but to themselves as well.
That's right.
Has that been one of the things considered?
Well, look, constitutional policing is what we ultimately have to adhere to. And if I'm not mistaken, there were multiple arrests that were made. Now, I don't know how many arrests that were made were based on curfew, and we did hold, and we do have at least a person that's been identified as the shooter from a couple of weeks ago. So clearly there's a commitment to accountability. Here's what I will say, is that it's not just policing. There's a lot that we have to do to make sure that young people who believe that's the only way in which they can have a good time, it's going to take more than policing to, make sure that we're engaging responsibly. That's why I was appreciative of the tone of the letter that also said what I've been saying, is that it's going to take more than just government. We have to have support for these young people. We have to have support, for the homes. There has to be a level of accountability even as we create opportunities, and that's what I'm committed to.
Now, y'all, what we have here is a tendency by one side of the conversation to demonize the violent young teens. And then you have the other side, which is Mayor Johnson's side, which he wants to say basically there are a few bad apples, but most of the teens are good. Either way, listen, I'm not professing to be an expert. I just know wherever you live, whoever lives there deserves to have a safe city. And Johnson's policies, while crime is coming down, again, it's a nationwide trend. So we can't necessarily say that he's doing any better job than any other mayor of any other city. In fact, his city, Chicago, for the 13th year in a row, is the murder capital of the country. So while he's taking credit for reductions, it's not falling fast enough. And in light of all of this, Johnson is losing the confidence of his police force. Take a look where recently a police officer was killed in Chicago, and the family of the officer said to Johnson, "Don't even come to the funeral, sir." And that wasn't the first time. Let's take a look.
Developing tonight, disagreement over how to honor a fallen Chicago police officer.
Enrique Martinez's funeral is Monday, and his loved ones are asking the mayor not to attend, but he says he's going anyway.
Our Jermont Terry shares the perspective from one of Martinez's family friends tonight. Jermont?
Joe and Erica, as the city prepares to honor Officer Martinez, who was killed while on duty, his family, through representatives, making it very clear that the man leading the city should not step foot into the services. Standing outside the 8th Police District, members of the FOP and close friends of fallen CPD officer Enrique Martinez spoke out in solidarity.
Enrique Martinez's family called me up this evening and said they could not do this. They definitely do not want the mayor at any of the functions for Enrique. Plain and simple.
They are here relaying a message from the family directly to Mayor Brandon Johnson. Martinez's family says the mayor's policy for public safety placed Martinez and many Chicago officers in harm's way.
Change the policies that put them at risk.
The mayor honored the wishes of Officer Louise Weska's family earlier this year and did not attend the funeral services. Weska's mother here making sure Martinez's family doesn't endure the back and forth frustration she says she went through with the mayor's office during her grief.
If the mayor really wants to honor, in this case, Enrique Martinez's family, he must respect the Martinez family wishes.
Yet the mayor's office saying he will attend, and a statement saying in part, the mayor of Chicago will attend all honors funeral services for every police officer, firefighter, or EMT who loses their life in the line of duty. These official honor services are solemn moments to honor the sacrifice of our officers and first responders. It is the mayor's honor to support the officers of the entire Chicago Police Department, especially in moments of grief.
This mayor better not show up. That's so disrespectful.
Now, we should note that Mayor Johnson was at the hospital the night Officer Martinez was killed, and he did offer condolences to the family directly. As of this hour on this Friday night, the mayor says he plans to be there. Reporting live outside the 8th Police District, I'm Jermont Terry, CBS News, Chicago. Erica?
Thank you, Jermont.
That's just bad, y'all. That's just terrible. I mean, think about it. And I think the whole point of this is that we have to require and demand more from our politicians, particularly as it relates to safety, particularly as it relates to what they're doing with the public coffers, the public funds, particularly as it relates to keeping the country's integrity solid and strong, if you know what I mean. So, y'all, let's get into some more, because that previous question about the teens, that wasn't the only question. There were at least 3 additional questions about the teens during this press conference. And of course, we're going to play those now just in succession and show you the mayor's answers. Spoiler alert, he doesn't have any. Let's take a look.
Mayor Johnson, for the
See,
second...
you moved seats there. Apparently you were very eager to ask a question. Now you got to get to it quickly, okay?
Well, the people of Chicago are asking me to ask you
So
a
go ahead
couple
and
of
ask it.
questions.
Go for it.
Every single reporter here asked 3 questions, and you didn't interrupt any of them, by the way. For the second week in a row, we had mobs of violent black teenagers descending on not only residents, attacking police, attacking businesses, shooting at people, obviously the shoplifting, property damage. And you weren't even in Chicago. You were out campaigning for another unpopular mayor in St. Louis, where your wife Stacy is from. And
You need the question.
people are asking me to ask you to add insult to injury. The very next night, not even 24 hours later, you
Okay,
held
get the
a
question.
campaign kickoff fundraiser. How could you possibly think that this is the right time to kick off your re-election campaign? And
Thank you.
people
Thank
are
you.
asking me,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
citizens
All
are
right, so
asking,
if your question is about me, about my reelection. So first of all, here's what I'm focused in on. It's creating more opportunities for people to afford to live in this city. As you have seen today, my administration has moved with a great deal of expediency, transparency, and boldness to build more affordable homes, because there's the pathway to sustain our communities and to make sure that they're safe. Here's what we're also committed to doing, is to ensuring that there is a workforce that is stabilized in this city so that we can continue to grow our economy. You know, the most important thing for the people of Chicago to know, the most important thing that they need to know, is that I'm focused in on people. That's what my focus has been on. And whether that's building more affordable homes, ensuring that our workforce is stabilized, investing in our young people, expanding mental and behavioral health, these are the things that the people of Chicago want. They want their schools to be fully supported. We've done that. They want their communities to be affordable. We're doing that. They want to make sure that our communities are getting safer. 25% reduction in violent crime just this year alone. And so we're going to continue to do that work throughout my term here. And then when it's time for us to make that announcement around what our vision is for the next 4 years, we'll make sure that you get an invitation.
Well, we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving.
the people who have actually invested in real businesses in downtown are saying that you're destroying their investments. Real residents.
Is there a question?
Invested in
All right, we got to keep moving. I'm sorry.
are saying that you're destroying
We can't do
their
this.
investment. How is it possible that someone like yourself doesn't seem to understand the actual definition of the word investment?
So as you can see, y'all, listen, Chicago, it has been experiencing a decline in violent crime, as have all cities across the nation practically after COVID, where there was a huge spike in crime. Now things are starting to level off and coming back down to normal. Of course, Mayor Johnson's taking credit for that as if he were special. Of course, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating, Mayor Johnson is taking credit for that as if he were doing something special. But come on, violence is going down all around the board. But it certainly doesn't help that apparently he's not supporting his police department. He recently even vetoed a popular and bipartisan bill to place teen curfews to try to help tackle the teen violence problem. So y'all, let me know down in the comments, do you think that Johnson, is this like a defund the police type of thing? You know, is he just trying to starve the police out, or what could be the reason for this? Is his office just maybe unorganized? Has the budget problem caused them not to have enough funding? Let me know down in the comments, but before you do, please hit the share button. Share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. For my people with a retirement, go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Check out our free reports about protecting your retirement from the upsies, downsies, roundsies, and the roundsies with gold, the oldest, hardest, strongest money that mankind has ever known. It's been with us for over 5,000 years. Come on, people. Plus, you can talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Thanks for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.